Hey people, ladies, gents, anyone in between. I don't have a big, massive video set to be released, though I have a few in progress. While I work on those, I wanted to make something smaller, just to express my gratitude and say thank you. Every like, comment, and subscription, they really mean a lot, so genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you. But I also wanted to make this video to apologize. There are projects that I wanted to have done by now, things to show you guys, bigger, more ambitious things. But right now everything is still messy and incomplete. I feel like no matter what my skill, it can't break through to the next level that I want it to be. My scripts, my voice, the way I read them, the way I edit them. I wanted to apologize because with all the support and kind things I receive, I feel the obligation to do better, to provide something better. The thing I want to offer is more than just videos. I love stories. I love talking about them. I love making videos about them. I like it when you can say something that makes people feel or think. That's why I keep doing this, because people keep saying that the videos affect them in some way. But, you know me, I am greedy and I am ambitious. Even if my skills are paltry and rough and crude and aren't worth a damn thing, I still stubbornly refuse to give them up. I like talking about stories, but you guys know me at this point, at least a little bit, I think. So then it should come with no surprise that I am working on my own. This whole video is just an excuse for me to get weird and personal and fucked up. You guys know. Oh, yeah. Long ago, before I went to college, the thing I wanted to do more than anything else was make movies. I wanted to direct them. I wanted to edit them. I wanted to write them. I wanted to make them. It was great. That's what I wanted to do. But wanting was all I did. I made shitty high school videos and was proud of them, even though they were somehow both dripping in pride and incompetence simultaneously at the same time. Then college happened, and the pandemic happened, and I couldn't get 3 people together to shoot even a god-awful Z- tier freshman college movie. I still love movies and what goes into making them, of course, but I love stories more than the specific mediums that they exist within. So I figured I would wait out the pandemic and write a book. I love books. Books are just words. Words are easy, right? So I set to writing, and I wrote and wrote and wrote, and how much joy there was in the process, how much bliss. I didn't have to worry about people or budget or anything like that. I didn't have to worry about food or the outside world or anything. It was just me and this story. And I finished something I thought I was proud of, and I looked at it and I hated it. I despised it more than I thought I could despise anything. This was wrong, all wrong, so very, very infinitely wrong. This was not the perfect thing that had existed in my head. The idea, the muse of it was perfect, but as soon as it flowed from the realm of ideas through my hands and into the keys on my computer and into those electronic words, I ruined it. I took something perfect and I ruined it. I took something that was beautiful and horrible, a story, and I butchered it. I was more angry than anything. But more than that, during those days I lost hope for a long time. Have you ever lost that? The pandemic raged on, the world grew darker, I grew more isolated, was cut off by my friends, cut myself off from my friends, felt I was abandoned by my family, abandoned my family myself. It was a very, very bad time. It was not fun. My own fault, though, as much as anything else. But, time just keeps marching onward. Classes resumed eventually. I spoke to family and friends again, but I was fundamentally unchanged. I was still as pathetic as ever. I lacked skill and vision and talent and everything else. More than that, I lacked conviction, any will to go on. I tried writing again. That second idea I abandoned, just like the first, and I grew more dejected, more angry. Was this all I had in me? Was this the limit of what I could do? And if it was, what was the point in living? People don't love me generally. There's a part of me that thinks I'm fundamentally unlikable, unlovable. The only thing I derived any kind of worth out of was stories, and if I couldn't even make them or create something moderately good, then why do I even exist? It's just FYI, it's not good to derive like your whole self being usually out of like one thing. That's a very slippery slope. And would you have it? Time just kept moving on. But then one day, I don't remember the specific place or time, I just set to it. I did the prep work, I planned it, I thought about it, I begged to the muse every single day and night and kept scratching at the marble wall to get the dust I would need to one day build a pyramid. And you know what? Eventually, with enough pleading, begging, praying, and working, something finally clicked. I said, to hell with it. Just write the damn thing. And so I did. I hated it. Every sentence felt wrong and malformed. Every spoken word by the characters felt like I was ruining them. Every emotional beat felt cold, and every logical point felt hollow. But I gritted my teeth and I kept going. I don't know why. Insanity, pride, ego, desperation, I don't know. But I did. And then one day it was done. I set to editing it right away. I refined it and chipped at it and smoothed it, and by the time I was done, there were actually parts I loved about it. Not everything, of course. Not even close to everything. But, it's funny. In the moment of writing, it's like I have convinced myself that there has never been a greater writer to exist on the earth, and my ideas and prose are beyond every other human. Then, as soon as I stop, as soon as I look at it, as soon as I just look at what I've done, doubt, fear, and logic steps in. The self-hate, the feeling of worthlessness. The only thing that keeps it at bay is to keep at it. Delusion, I know, but just bear with me. I kept editing, I kept writing, and I reached out to some authors that I knew, and I gave them the manuscript, and they said they liked it, and they sent me to an editor, and that editor gave it a read-through. I remember going over to that editor's house practically vibrating with anxiety and excitement. The editor mentions that her nephew also read it, and the nephew loves it, and he tells me how great it is, and I feel a strange kind of, what is that emotion? Pride? Not self-deluded? I am the greatest movie maker to ever exist when all I've ever made is an half-an-hour Infinity War parody with Shakespeare characters, but actual pride, a small little golden feeling that someone actually derived something from something I had made, that I could tell a story that could make people feel things or think things. It was odd. Then I spoke to the editor, and she was as respectful and professional as could be, truly. And she ripped me apart. Unrefined prose, unfocused narrative, difficult to follow sentence structure, incorrect usage of punctuation. You guys get it, the whole deal, torn to absolute pieces. And the thing about that is she was right. Not in every single area, but in the vast majority of them. She was, after all, not a reader of the kind of stories I like, not really a novel editor at all, but one that edits for academic papers and books such as that. But still, she knew a great deal. Even if she didn't understand narrative flow and pacing, she knew more about the structure of a book and the sentence-by-sentence and paragraph-by-paragraph assemblage than I. She, after all, had been doing this for longer than I had even been alive. Of course, I hadn't hired her, I wasn't working with her, these were just her thoughts after reading it one afternoon, but still the flaws she found were seemingly without end. And yet, her nephew argued with her. I still don't understand why he argued for its quality, and still I don't understand why, because she was right. Maybe I can't tell if it's good or bad at all. Maybe I can't even tell the quality of the thing I myself wrote. And if I can't even tell that, then how can I speak with any sort of authority or vision on any other? Why even bother? I went home confused, determined, desperate, somehow brimming with hope and despair at the same time, somehow still confident and ambitious, but also understanding how desperate, pathetic, and skillless I really was. I kept editing. I edited through my junior and senior year. On a whim, I read off a paragraph of it to some friends, and once again, they liked it. I didn't believe them. I couldn't believe them because why trust people? I know the way they are. They aren't honest. People want to avoid hurting others when it comes to the things they create. Why? Because they are afraid that if they hurt the things others create, then others will hurt the things that they themselves create. But, fuck it, I said. So we organized a book club. I got these beta readers and I read out the book to them word by word. And once again, positivity. Strange, unusual positivity. They seem to like it. Pride, a kind of happiness I had never felt before in my entire life. Something I did that people actually liked. Something that I did that people found amusing. It meant something I created had value that conversely I myself also had value. Why do I do this? Just validation? Isn't that also, like, crude? Not a base reason? Yes. No. In truth, I do not know. Eventually, I became so focused on trying to make the book, story, world, magic, and characters better that I wasn't even focused on anything else. I just didn't really care. I barely cared if I graduated or not, because who cared about anything a degree could offer me? My degree would be me failing and walking into someone else's system, but this? I wasn't focused on making movies anymore or trying to learn drawing or animating. I just wanted to make this one story as good as possible because after how much I had put into it, it deserved it, didn't it? I couldn't abandon it now. If I did, I would be just like all the rest who began something they didn't finish, who were all talk and no action. I was tired of being the person who just spoke big but did nothing. Oh, yeah, I'm a director, I'm a writer, I'm an insert thing. And people say, what have you worked on? And you say you have things in progress, and it's always fucking in progress, and it never gets done. I was that person for so very long, and I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't be that person anymore. This is not a good way to be, for me. I talked big when I was nothing but shit. It was astonishing I could even live with myself, but I refused, and will refuse to be that person any longer. I would finish this godforsaken damn book and the story it lay within, even if it kills me, even if I lost everything. I would not abandon this. Who cares how much more of my life I fed to it? I made a YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys knew. It was different. It helped. It was both distraction, diversion, but also strangely peaceful and therapeutic. It's probably not a good thing to view this type of thing as therapeutic, but it's just it. And for some reason, that still doesn't make sense to me. You guys have been more positive and supportive than I could possibly imagine. And that pushed me further on this book of mine, this story of mine, and its extension. Because now I don't just want to make it as good as possible for me, now I want to do it for you. I want to provide something special. I got a proper editor. In truth, as I write this, I'm waiting to hear back from them for the first impressions. By the way, just heard back from them. Basically, right now, the book is not in as good a position as I hoped, but it's nowhere near as bad as I feared, so there is that. Their first impressions were about the same as the last editor in some regards. Even through the absurd efforts I have went through to increase the book's quality, it's just, it never, it doesn't, in truth, I'm still waiting in supreme terror and anxiety to be told it's worthless, that the years I've spent of my life have been spent in vain. I'm writing a second book, the sequel to the first. Why? Because I want to. And after that, I will write however many I need until the story is done. Even if the first one isn't even out yet. Because guess what? No matter how worthless it is, no matter how pathetic and anemic my skills are, I'm gonna do it. The reason why I'm making this video is, one, to say thank you, but it's also to apologize because the book should have been out by now. It should have been out and it complete and, of a quality that I and, the people who get it, read it, will be happy with. But there have been delays because of my own lack in skill more than anything else. The artist who I want to make the cover is skilled beyond words. The editor cuts right to the center of the problem. The people I have reached out to do audio narration have all been more kind than I could imagine, and I feel like my own skill can never match up, that I am consistently letting both myself down and the people who I want to work on this project with, as well as the people who are potentially interested in it. I am waiting for that editor to tell me that this will never work, and I am waiting for the cover artist to read longer sections and realize I am a hack. I am waiting for the narrator to examine the finished draft and tell me they wouldn't work on this if the reward were 7 trillion star systems. I am so scared and anxious all the time, waiting for the floor to fall out from beneath me, for you guys to realize that I am a hack and I don't know what I'm doing, and these videos are just ghosts and smoke and mirrors. But I am also more driven and energetic than I have ever been, because I'm actually doing it. It is getting done step by step. Maybe it's only one fingernail at a time to climb Mount Everest, and maybe by the end it won't even be good, but fuck it. What the hell else am I supposed to do? If I could restart this process from the beginning, I think I might just make the story a web serial, but fuck it. Who knows what the hell I'm doing? So, here I am. There are more ins and outs, of course, more strange details, but in the end, here we are. And I guess I just wanted to ask what you guys think. Honestly. I'm gonna do this, of course, even if people say not to, but what do you guys think about any part of it? Would it be better to keep tinkering with this and try to make it a proper book as I have been planning? Would it be better just to throw some of these more long-term quality of assurance edits and turn it into a web serial just so the story can get out there? Would you want to know about the world building, the magic, the characters? Would you want to know about the story? I've now spent almost half a decade slowly building, and there is no evidence that it even exists besides a few documents, and you know how it is. I just want to know what you think. I'm not going to stop making videos, but I'm also not going to stop working on this unreasonably large project. Should I open a Patreon? Should I monetize? Would that be greedy and nonsensical because I don't have enough to offer? All I could offer is behind the scenes and step-by-step parts? Would asking for money for this be pride and insanity? Yeah, it's like, yeah, I think it would be, which is why I'm not doing that. I'm just asking you guys about that. I'll probably do it at some point, like when there's actually like chunks of the book like out complete. There's parts, it is done, or the novella is done. I'll ask for. I'll be completely shameful, and I'll beg then. But it's also a case of like, if you guys want that, what perks would you like? Would you a Discord behind the scenes look of how this project is progressing and why? Obviously I'm not showing off anything right now, but it's like, do you want me to make those things? Do you want me to show off some of those things? Because I have proof, but it's not done yet. But we're so close. It's so very, very close of this first one being done. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about the process. This is the first time I've done any of this, which is why I'm asking. So tell me, leave a comment, leave your thoughts. I want to hear them. I can't promise I will listen, but I do promise to take them into account. Tell me if this is stupid, if I'm stupid, or if something sounds cool or neat. I haven't spoken about specifics of the story or book or world or characters, anything like that, because I don't know if you actually want that. Let me know if you're interested, right? And I guess that's all for now. The project continues, videos in progress also, and that is that. A year in review, 1,000 subs in a little over 1 year. Genuinely, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so very, very much, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one. Take care, people.